All right, ladies and gentlemen, World Studies students, welcome to class on Friday, um, our asynchronous learning day. I want to make sure that you have a really good understanding of what you need to get accomplished today in order to get credit for attendance today. Remember that I am taking attendance at the end of the day today, somewhere around 4:30. I will take attendance, give you enough time to get everything done. And the way I'm taking attendance is I am going to go in through each of your assigned weekly packets. So you'll notice here on the screen right here, I can either open the weekly packet as it sits right now, or I can go into each of your assignments that you see here, and I can look at each of yours individually. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to, at the very end of the day today, I'm going to go into all of your assignments and see if you have done the work that I've asked you to do. If you have done that work, you are going to get credit for attendance today. If not, then you will be marked absent today because you did not access your packet and do the work that I asked in today's asynchronous work. So that hopefully should be fairly clear for you. Now, in your packet today, remember, our focus this week is on our essential question. What were the geographic, economic, cultural, and political effects of apartheid on Native or Black South Africans? That should be our focus. And remember that on Wednesday of next week, you are going to, or sorry, and I keep saying next week, but we have spring break in between. But the next week we are in school. You are going to write on two of those four of your choice. Remember that earlier this week on Tuesday, we did all our need to know words. On Wednesday, we spent all of our time highlighting and paraphrasing uh, uh, concrete details for different central ideas. So if we talked about this central idea here, apartheid laws separated blacks and whites culturally and economically, we put in there that interracial marriage was not allowed, that black people were paid less than whites in almost all jobs. We could have added any of the other ones in here that were either yellow or green for culture or economy. We got through this yesterday. We talked about homelands. Actually, not yesterday, on Wednesday. Um, we got through homelands. We talked about denationalizing these Black South Africans. We put in both of those geographic separations, physically and geographically. They separated Africans and Europeans, Africans and whites, blacks and whites, physically and geographically. So you should already have that in from Wednesday's class. We talked about this chart here and the different treatment of Black South Africans right around 1978. We highlighted these based on geography, economy, and we really spent a lot of time talking about these cultural effects, right? Doctors per population, infant mortality rate. Your job at the end of class on Wednesday was to highlight based on politics, so our orange highlight, and especially focus on the Sharpeville massacre and these people who refused to carry their passes and what happened when they had a state of emergency after that. When you were done with that on Wednesday, you were supposed to answer or put concrete details down that supported this central idea of disobeying or protesting apartheid laws had terrible political consequences. So you should have already had that done. You should have something here about whipping if you were, or beatings if you were put in jail. You should have something about a state of emergency where the police can kill Black Africans. You can talk about the government banning the ANC, the African National Congress. Any of those would work as far as political consequences. What happened to Black Africans if they protested the government? So all of that should be done. You should have all of this highlighted and filled out up until there. Now, down at the bottom, there is this one extra section of the reading. So yesterday we watched a movie that really backed up. We watched actually clips of movies and clips of documentaries that backed up all of the things that we were talking about in the previous few sections. All of the poor treatment of Black South Africans. We watched a little bit of the Sharpeville massacre on a Hollywood-style movie to see what that was like. We watched a documentary about it. So you should have a good understanding of all those, and you should have effects listed down politically, geographically, and economically and culturally. So we have concrete details now ready to write for the Wednesday that we come back after spring break. At the very bottom here, I want you to finish this article, but you'll notice that I don't have any colors here. I just have a statement that I would like you to prove with facts from the text. It took many years, but the policies of apartheid in South Africa eventually fell due to the hard work and protest by many around the world. So, what I want you to find is in this reading, give me examples of that hard work and protest. What were people doing in order to try to get rid of apartheid? Who was playing a part? You can put people's names, you can put what they were doing, whatever you need to do. There's not really a lot to highlight. Maybe a little bit about, a law that Afrikaans must be spoken in all South African schools. That can be orange for politics or yellow for culture. But everything after that talks about what happens in order to change apartheid. So we're not talking about effects anymore. We're just talking about what happened to change apartheid, which is what I want you to put down here. So finish that section. That should take you about 5 minutes to read and then put down concrete details for that. And then what you are supposed to do for the rest of the period today, and this is what I'm going to take attendance on, is if this section is filled out today. So the top 3 questions are directly from the chart that we looked at on Wednesday. How much land did whites hold in South Africa? What's the difference? So you're going to need to take what was spent on whites and then subtract what was spent on black students and find the difference, put it in that bracket. And then how many doctors per black Africans were there? Those should be easy. You should be able to go back up here and find those answers in the chart here. At the bottom, what you are supposed to do is take all of your highlights then from Wednesday, all of the blue highlights, and put them in your own words here as geographical effects of apartheid. So you should have something about homelands. And you should have some sort of response in your own words about what homelands were, what they were used for, why it's an effect on Black South Africans. You might have something like, that was our very first one, right? Interracial, capitalize the N. Back here, right? Interracial marriage is not allowed. That was one of our yellow highlights up here. So we should have that. Any yellow highlight should go down here in our own words. You should hit enter and you'll get another bullet point. Take all your yellow highlights and put them here. Same thing with economics, right? You should have all your green highlights about what happens economically to Black South Africans in this section. The cultural and the economic are going to be a little light. Your political one should be heavy. You should have 5 or 6 things in your political section there. Again, I am taking attendance based on this being done by about, let's say, let's make it a definite time, 5 o'clock tomorrow night, or 5 o'clock tonight, I should say. 5 o'clock on Friday night, this should be filled out. When that is done, I will go back into attendance and mark you either absent or present based on the work that you have done. I probably won't see you or talk to you until after spring break on Monday when we come back to school. I hope you have an excellent spring break. I hope you get away from your screens a little bit. I hope you don't forget everything that we've learned, but I hope you get away from your screens a little bit. I hope you get to spend some time with family and friends. If you are playing a sport, good luck to all of you who are playing a sport. And are playing games over spring break. I know it's kind of weird to be playing some of our games. We have a football game over spring break. But I hope you have a great spring break. I will talk to you when we get back on Monday. Remember, Monday are our normal short classes. We will start class on Monday after spring break at 10:40 a.m. And then we have a normal schedule for the rest of the week. We will take our quiz on Tuesday, and we will take our written exam on Wednesday after spring break. We will give you the following 2 days, Thursday and Friday, to do any retakes or makeup work to get your grade up for the quarter. Have a great day. Have a great spring break. Go Trojans.